Good afternoon. My name is Leslie Williams, and I'm making this video in order to inform you about something that you had no idea about. That's right, baby cakes. Now, hold on a second. The reason why I decided to make this video is in order to be able to give you a clear perspective pertaining to some of the heinous natures of what organized stalking and gang stalking is actually all about, in part. Okay? I know I said all about and then I said in part, but just stay with me and you'll understand what I'm saying. You can go to Google right now. I'm going to be doing some things as I'm talking to you, but trust me, if you stay with this video, you will definitely be glad that you did, because this video is being made for informative purposes, for educational purposes, so you can take what I state and research it, cross-reference the information, and then synthesize it together in order to be able to form a holistic pictorial representation in your mind pertaining to the entire scope of what is going on in reference to. Now, I know I just said again, before I said all about, now I'm saying the entire scope. But what I'm trying to explain here is that what I'm going to describe are methods, tactics, techniques, employment descriptions, persons being used, these 5 things being used in order to harass a target and how it occurs. Now, to build the foundation of what I'm talking about, first go to YouTube and type in last go to YouTube and type in "Learning Disabled Woman Exposes the Gang Stalking of Police Officers." Now, that's the last thing for you to do after you watch this. I'm also going to describe to you some descriptions so you can go online and research the technologies that organized stalking, gang stalking perpetrators can utilize against the victims and the individuals they're getting to harass a target for them. All of it based on lies, slander, and their power positions in the community, being able to solicit the slander about the target in order to motivate individuals in the community to harass the target for them in specific ways. Now, like I said, I'm going to be doing some things here as I'm making this video, but you got to pay attention to everything I'm saying. Remember, every detail and every description comes together in order to create the holistic pictorial representation, so you can see I'm telling you the truth. First thing, go to Google. Hold on. First thing, go to Google and go to YouTube and type in the following way that I describe it. Greg Szymanski, Julian McKinney, live leak broadcast. Greg Szymanski, Julian McKinney, live leak broadcast. Leak, L-E-A-K. Now, what you're going to be doing as a result of you watching it at Google and YouTube, I think the YouTube videos are actually, YouTube has it presented as a at least 3 to 5 part video series. Each video only being, I think, anywhere between 10 or 15 minutes long. But if you Google it, you should be able to bring up the whole entire video that's about, I think, 40 or 50 minutes long. Now, why am I telling you to do this? Hold on. In gang stalking expeditions, basically what they do is that I've already stated that they will solicit the aid of anybody and everybody that they can in the community to do specific things towards the targeted individual for them based on slander. Go to YouTube and type in "listen to a stranger." Now, these can either be real police officers, probation officers, parole officers, anybody in the system at any level working in any agency. Social services, social security, doctors in area neighborhood hospitals. Now, police officers, fire department personnel, members of the DA's office can be connected to these organized crime syndicates. The prosecutor will more than likely take his orders from them, and even the higher echelon pertaining to employment descriptions in police departments. I'm talking about chiefs, lieutenants, sergeants, and even captains. Listen to what I'm saying, because now, if you're a police officer watching this, you might think to yourself, this woman's got a problem with police. No, I don't. My father was Chief MP to General Curtis LeMay. Okay, that's right. And I wanted to be a cop most of my young adult life, but couldn't because of my learning disabilities. I have nothing against police officers at all. Good ones, and ones who go to their job every day just trying to make sure that innocent people are not victimized by criminals. Now, as far as the syndicate members who are cops, or cops who are taking orders from the syndicate members that are above them, well, let me just put it to you this way: any police officer that does anything towards a targeted individual because they're just following orders, I have some measure of understanding in my mind and in my heart concerning that, but I will definitely 100% throw you to the side in a flat-out nanosecond if it comes to you taking orders from a syndicated cop above you, and then as a result, your resulting behavior hurts one of my fellow targeted individuals. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm learning disabled, and if I can live like this and go through everything that I have went through, being brutally assaulted 4 times, raped, and other horrific, heinous crimes that have happened to me, and I'm still a whistleblower and I'm still an activist, then any syndicated cop who's in the system, or I'm sorry, any good cop that's in the system who is taking orders from the syndicate above them, knowing what they're doing, okay, or at least suspecting what they're doing is criminal behavior, and them not sticking their neck out to do the right thing. Hold on. All the while, us targeted individuals are being human trafficked, raped, gang raped, tortured, illegally arrested, illegally petitioning the county mental health, and everything else that happens to us, and we still do what we do in reference to doing the right thing and becoming an activist, so we can inform the community so the community can protect themselves, and so we can inform and educate uneducated police officers who are the good ones so they can watch their backs. Then you should be able to stick your neck out a little bit as well. I'm in San Diego, California. I live in La Jolla. I'm not involved in any illegal or criminal activity whatsoever. I do not know in any way, shape, or form the individuals who are managing, hosting, okay, and giving the orders to engage in every gang stalking technique that's been brought about towards me or any individual or place used. I do not know them at all. They are complete literal strangers to me. Getting on and moving forward to the reason why this video is being made concerning the subject matter. Now, basically in gang stalking, if you go and you review Greg Skamansky and Julian McKinney live leak broadcast, you'll literally hear Julian McKinney state that it's not just the targeted individuals who are being targeted. Now, what do you think she was talking about? Well, let's take a look at some of the technological resources that are connected to these extreme criminalities. Organized stalking and gang stalking perpetrators, usually the ones that are high up, even the ones that are above the police, they have certain technologies that were given to them from the military. The microwave hearing effect, voice to skull, which has also got an abbreviation. You can call voice to skull V2K, and remote neural monitoring. Now, I was literally on the Ground Zero, Clyde Lewis. Clyde Lewis has a show. It's a national radio show. It's a pretty good show. You can listen to it. You can go online and even listen to it. Anyways, you can go to Google right now and type in Clyde Lewis Ground Zero and listen to his archived shows. As a result, you should be able to, it either occurred on February 2nd or February 5th. I think it was the 2nd. 2014. I literally called the show from this area and spoke with Daniel Estolin. Daniel Estolin is an author who has written many books pertaining to transhumanism and the deconstruction of humankind because of all of the sophisticated things that are being developed right now in the military, in the military community, and at the university level. Okay, and I'm talking about at the way past the doctorate level. I'm talking about DARPA. I'm talking about the Blue Brain Project. I'm talking about the Avatar 2045 project. I'm talking about the Blue Beam Project. Now, basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that I'm talking about nanotechnology. I'm talking about a lot of things. But anyways, just bear with me. Trust me. You'll be glad that you watched this video. So I called up the Ground Zero Clyde Lewis show as a result of listening to the show on my radio, and as I was listening to it, I obviously became aware that Daniel Estolin was on it. Okay, once he was introduced and started talking. So as a result of what he was talking about in reference to the subject matter, I called up the show, and Clyde Lewis accepted my call, and as a result, I got to talk to Daniel Estolin right on the show. And I literally asked him if he had ever heard of the Blue Brain Project. He said no, he'd never heard of that term before. Now, this is a guy who's already educated in reference to the different projects that are going on right now that are being, most of them are being done by governments, military research groups, and how they're all collectively working together and subcontracted through each other, the DOD. Now, basically what I'm saying here is that I asked him if he knew about the Blue Brain Project, and DARPA does have a similar, like a brother-sister project going on as well. I just forgot the name that they're using to describe their project. But make no mistake about this, baby cakes and sweethearts. Make no mistake that other foreign governments are, in reference to the research they're doing, is working in collusion with the United States government. Make no mistake about it. So when I say the Blue Brain Project, Blue Brain, and you go and research that, and you say to yourself, well, this is something that's going, or the Avatar 2045, you're going to say, well, this is stuff that's going on in Australia, this is stuff that's going on in Russia. I think not. Because these expeditions are going on in these other countries, but they're working in a cooperating relationship covertly with the United States military. Make no mistake about it. Now, and also the DoD and the DARPA has sister projects that are identical to it. Let me get into the meat and potatoes pertaining to what I'm talking about so you'll understand, because as I talk, the information that comes out in the sequential flow that it does is, and then once you hear it all, reverse engineer it. Okay? I'm forward structuring right now the information so you can bring it together as a whole. So stay with me. Now, trust me, you'll be glad you did. Now, so I asked Daniel Estulin, does he know anything about the Blue Brain Project? This is a guy that's extremely educated in reference to transhumanism and all the things and all the projects they're working on right now, and he didn't even know about it, because he said no. Hold on. So he asked me, how do I know about it? He goes, how did you run across this term? I said, well, because I looked it up on the internet. I found it on the internet as a result of typing in at Google mind uploading, mind transfer, and mind hacking. Okay? And he said, well, no, what you're actually referring to is remote neural monitoring. Okay? And then he went on to talk about the capabilities of remote neural monitoring. Only a few, but what he described is, research it. Go back and listen to that archive show in reference to its date. Its date being February 2nd, 2014 or February 5th, 2014. You'll find it, trust me. SoundCloud. It appears that Clyde Lewis is using SoundCloud for his archive shows. So just go to Google and type in Ground Zero Clyde Lewis. Okay, and you'll be able to see that Ground Zero's shows are archived, so you can go back and you can listen to them. So, moving forward. So basically, he talked about remote neural monitoring and how the government, how the criminals in the government are using it illegally for criminal purposes. And when you listen to how he describes how it's used for, it is. Now, you can go to Google and type in remote neural monitoring in order to be able to see what it's about. And you can YouTube it as well. Now, let's move forward. Basically, remote neural monitoring and microwave hearing effect is they are two separate technologies along with other technologies like the neural phone. Okay, that's actually a technology that can be incorporated within the same within the same computer network as the remote neural monitoring and the voice-to-skull and the alpha wave transmissions that can be perpetrated against an organized stalking, gang stalking target. I'll briefly describe what the microwave hearing effect is and voice-to-skull. Voice-to-skull is basically where, and alpha wave transmissions are basically where they can project sounds for a target to hear using scalar technology, probably with parabolic antennas. Hold on. As a result, the targeted individual, to help you see with your mind's eye about how this can be possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to describe to you the audio spotlight. Go to YouTube and Google and type in audio spotlight, and you'll eventually run across a YouTube video showing a man standing on the 3rd floor of a library and directionally holding this piece of, it looks like a speaker, like a small miniature satellite dish. And basically what he's doing is he's holding it up. Satellite dishes, the thing that looks like a small satellite dish is right here. He's holding it, and then he speaks into it while he's directing it to a person on the 1st floor in the library. As a result, only she can hear it because it's being directionally pointed to her. Now, you can also go to Google and you can type in Skull Candy. Skull Candy is the name of a type of brand of headphones. The reason why it's called Skull Candy is because it's sweet, because the sound goes through the skull. As a result, the sound is sweet. You ever heard that slang term like, hey, that's sweet? You know, that's a sweet sound. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, so that's why I believe they probably named their product that way. I am not implying or suggesting or stating at all that Skull Candy manufacturer or company is involved in these expeditions at all. I only brought them up to help you see that using these headphones, if I'm understanding it correctly, you put the headphones on, you plug it into an MP3 player or anything else, you press play pertaining to what you're listening to, and the sound goes straight through the skull into the audio cortex. Now, when you take that and realize that, and then incorporate it with the pictorial representation pertaining to the audio spotlight YouTube video, then you can see right out, flat out in your face. And these are older sound technologies. These technologies were going around, if memory serves me correctly, back in the 70s and 80s. Okay, voice to skull and ELF wave transmissions and the microwave hearing effect. These are extremely sophisticated technologies, and basically what the perpetrators are doing is that when you read the remote neural monitoring file, you will come to understand, in your face understand, that every single human being, their brain emits a unique magnetic field. Okay, a magnetic energy. It's unique just like your fingerprint is different from the next person you're sitting next to. The magnetic field that generates the frequencies from the magnetic field that generates from your brain is different from the next person. That person's being different from the next person. Each person has a unique one. Now, what these individuals can do through brain scanning is determine what your unique magnetic field is. As a result, they're able to literally understand the frequencies that are inside the brain. Literally. Just read the remote neural monitoring file online and you'll be able to see. As a result, they're able to assign a number to the magnetic resonance frequencies of the brain itself and any resonance frequency of any neural pathway within it. Flat out. Just go to Google and read the remote neural monitoring file, and then go to YouTube and watch remote neural monitoring videos. As a result, the audio cortex can be hacked. I've already discussed mind hacking, mind uploading, and mind transfer technologies. The only way that they can do that, baby cakes, is that they got the ability to do it. Which means they've already deciphered basically the human consciousness and the human mind through neural encoding and decoding. Flat out. Now, basically what you can do is, like, whenever you turn on a fan, like, remember when you were a kid and you'd go over to Grandma's house on Thanksgiving Day and she'd have the fan on, and you'd sit in front of the fan while you're waiting for dinner to be done, and you'd sit in front of the fan and you go, ah. Well, as the fan blades are turning around and around and around and around, the ah that's going into the fan is coming out, just do it. Take a fan, turn it on right now if you got one, okay? Turn it on at high speed, and stand next to it, or sit next to whatever, and go, ah. The sound that comes out of it is going to be distorted. What you're going to hear is, ah. Because what's happening here is that the air is being displaced, that the sound wave from the ah is being projected into the fan, and the blades, okay, what they're doing is displacing the air that's carrying the sound frequency. Now, to help you see that air can move sound, all you got to do is do that. Now, with what they do with the microwave hearing effect is what they do is that they know the biomagnetic field and of the target's brain, which means they can access the audio cortex as a result, just to basically condense it. So what they can do is project sounds at the same frequency in the target's environment for the target to hear. And the target is the only one that can hear it. You can also go to YouTube and type in Jesse Ventura, The Brain Invaders Show. Now, moving forward, as a result, the target can hear these sounds being said in the environment popped around them from different locations. Okay? The target can also hear sounds directly in their mind, but it feels like it's actually being said around them. Now, if remote neural monitoring and the microwave hearing effect and V2K is put in one computer together, the computer is actually, through neural encoding, being able to interpret, okay, the neural activity of the target's thoughts. They're called evoked potentials. Just Google and YouTube remote neural monitoring, and also go to and also go to Google and type in surveillanceissues.com. Thoroughly investigate everything on that website, and then go to Google and type in bugsweep.com. Bugsweep.com. Now remember, you're taking all this information together and you're gonna fold it onto each other to see I'm telling you the truth. Now, going back to Greg Skamansky and Julian McKinney, remote neural monitoring can basically neurally encode what you're processing. The computer that's run by artificial intelligence then translate the evoked potentials of what's being processed, spits out the words as a result of each neural activity pertaining to, like, even subvocal speech can be remotely neurally monitored. As a result, the targeted individual's audio cortex and video cortex is literally being hijacked. As a result, they're able to literally read. When you shut your mouth and you read a book, you've got internal language going on. Even when you're perceiving something from your environment, the unconscious mind is perceiving it and attaching language to it before you're even consciously aware that the language has been formed. That's why I'm saying it can even remotely neurally monitor your subvocal speech. That's right. Go to YouTube and type in NYC Chronicles. That's a targeted individual talking about how she's being harassed with the microwave hearing effect about her thoughts before her thoughts are even complete, because the computer they're using is getting the information, translating it, and then spitting back harassing dialogue based on what's read, and the computer runs on trillions of flops per second. The mind only processes information from the unconscious to the subconscious to the preconscious to the conscious in milliseconds. Now, Trilla is past the trillion. Milli is only 1,000. So that's how the computer is able to literally harass a target using the microwave hearing effect and V2K about what's being processed before the process is even fully processed up into consciousness. That's right. My name is Leslie Williams and I'm in San Diego, California. Now, some people that are watching this are going to just say, this woman is just flat out crazy. Really? If you're smart, you'll listen to what I'm saying and research every single thing that I'm saying. And then you, being the smart ones, will sit back and say to yourself, damn. Flat out. Now remember what I said, Daniel Estulin is even aware that this technology exists because he literally even exposed it on Ground Zero as I was talking to him. You can also go to YouTube and type in John Hall Satellite Terrorism. You'll flat out hear him eventually talk about remote neural monitoring, but he's all over the internet discussing the microwave hearing effect. Flat out. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm in San Diego, California. I live in La Jolla. I'm a good woman. Again, like I've already stated, I'm not involved in any illegal or criminal activity whatsoever. But what I'm doing right now is I'm literally portraying to you these highly sophisticated technologies and what they're doing to targets. Now, the whole reason why they're basically employing the V2K and the microwave hearing effect and alpha wave transmissions, which are the scalarly projected sounds that the target will hear. Okay, the reason I'm doing that is because basically what they want to do is engage in what is known as menacide. Menacide is where the computer is intentionally harassing the target based on the target's own thought processes, which are evoked potentials. As a result of the evoked potentials being monitored with remote neural monitoring. They're monitoring the target neurally from a remote distance. Remote neural monitoring. Monitoring the target neurally from a remote distance. You understand? And then that technology is put in the same exact computer that the microwave hearing effect is in. The artificial intelligence deciphers what's being monitored, and then it, with its software program, through subroutines, directs the computer to direct the microwave hearing effect to be initiated against the target, so that the target will hear harassing dialogue sets based on the theme of what's read from the remote neural monitoring. So a target can have a thought, I'm going to go to Walmart. They will transmit, as a result of the remote neural monitoring reading it, and the artificial intelligence decoding it, and then the artificial intelligence computer software initiating the V2K, the microwave hearing effect, so the target will hear harassing statements like, what is he going to Walmart for? What an idiot. Do you understand? So basically what they're doing is mind raping you. They're raping your mind to gain this access so they can transmit auditory harassment to the target based on the theme of what is read from the remote neural monitoring. Now, my name is Leslie Williams and I'm in San Diego, California, and what I'm doing right now is literally exposing to you torture. But there's also a lot of other things connected to this. Whenever we, like, say if you're an animal lover, okay? You're an animal lover. Every time you see a dog or a cat, let's just use dogs in this video. Every time you see a dog, what are you gonna do? You're gonna get excited. Oh, isn't that doggy cute? Yeah, baby. Do you know what I'm saying? If you're a dog lover, anything that makes you excited. You might love children. So when you see an infant or a 1 or 2 year old walking with their parent in a grocery store, you automatically go into that mental mind state of, oh, how cute. He's so nice. You're happy. You're jubilant. You're joyful. This is a brain state, and this is the reason why I brought it up. Now, let's take on another. Let's look at another different type of brain state. How do you think you would feel if somebody walked up to you and stole your purse, mugged you, stole your wallet, beat you in the face? You would experience extreme rage and anger, wouldn't you? Well, that's a brain state as well, baby cakes. Say if somebody broke into your house, tied your wife up, tied you up, and then raped your wife in front of you. Right in front of you, including even in front of your kids. Now, what is going on in the mind of that man as all this is happening to him? Extreme rage. If he was able to, he would get up and kill those people instantly. Of course he would. Anybody would. But as he's experiencing this event, he is experiencing what is called white anger, which is the most purest form of rage that you can experience, like when you're dealing with a road rage situation. If a targeted individual has been brain scanned, basically all brain states that are experienced can be harvested because they're emotional clusters and EEG signatures. Now, you got to remember, the remote neural monitoring, what it's doing is that it's basically monitoring the brain. So when the brain is experiencing a brain state, those EEG signatures and emotional clusters are being harvested, which are nothing but electrical signals. Now, if they know the area of the brain where anger can be, if they know that they got these harvested emotional clusters, which are basically nothing but electrical activity that's being stored in their computer, and then they can turn around and re-stimulate those brain states for inappropriate situations. Case in point, a known person who has been known to have assaulted a woman 3 times, robbed her even, okay, has been put in that woman's path again at a later date. Or a syndicated cop who has hurt a target on multiple previous occasions is in that target's physical presence. The target's got evidence on them that they're being gang stalked. So if they want that target to cooperate with that syndicated cop, what do you think they might do? Stimulate a brain state of passivity. Stimulate a brain state of being jubilant, like you were jubilant when you saw a doggy that you thought was cute. Check it out. Go to YouTube and go to Google and type in Deborah Tavares. She's done some excellent videos online, and she even talks about this, that they can literally stimulate your brain to experience a brain state that is completely inappropriate to the situation that the target is currently in. Now this is just one feature of the remote neural monitoring. Hold on. Another feature is where they can hold on. When you're at YouTube and you type in John Hall satellite terrorism, you're gonna hear Mr. John Hall literally flat out state that, do you know how, like, you can hear my voice right now? You can literally hear me speaking. It's very obvious you're listening to me, right? Well, my voice has got a tone, a pitch, and a melody. The sound of my voice is coming out at a time constant rate. That's right. Now, what do you think that I will do if I pick up the Bible, the good holy book, and I start reading it to myself? Well, my audio cortex is going to hear my own voice, because language is used in order to make sense of what I'm reading. Hold on. Now, what will the perpetrators do? Well, they can do a lot of things pertaining to a target's voice. They can take that target's voice in reference to its pitch, its tone, its melody, and how it talks, and incorporate it within a computer that the remote neural monitoring and the microwave hearing effect is in. If you listen to John Hall's satellite terrorism videos, you're literally going to be able to hear him state that his fiance, he describes it as where they can basically he calls them artificial thoughts. And basically what they can do is take a targeted individual's voice print and put it in a computer. It's called voice morphing. And then they can program the computer and streamline a sequential, like right now I'm saying, I am going to go to Walmart to buy some chicken. That is a sentence. I am going to go to Walmart to buy some chicken. That is me saying that. They can type this in on their computer or verbally say it themselves into a speaker, and then what will come out will be my voice. Jesse Ventura showed this voice morphing technology when he did a conspiracy theory show pertaining to 9/11. YouTube it. Now, Voice morphing, voice synthesizing, voice modulating is all over the internet. YouTube it. Google it as well. In fact, they even got some of these voice morphing features on certain phones, where you can pick like Popeye's voice, or Yosemite Sam, or Bugs Bunny, or Bugs Bunny voice, or Bugs Bunny's voice, or Mickey Mouse's voice. And anything once they activate that application on their phone and then speak into the speaker on the phone, anything they say in the phone will come out of the speaker, like the ear speaker, speaking into the mouth speaker, and whatever comes out of their mouth, whatever's said, comes out in Bugs Bunny's voice in the ear speaker. That's voice morphing. So what they can do, since they've already hijacked into and hacked into the target's audio cortex, if I'm shutting my mouth and reading the Bible to myself, I hear my own voice sound internally, just like you would. Okay? Like right now, I'm thinking to myself, I am having a thought. I hear my own voice. What they can do is incorporate this voice morphing into the computer, and then streamline any direct. It's done for psychological direction, which is even mentioned in the remote neural monitoring file. So what they can do is sit back and type in, I am going to go to Walmart, I am going to buy some chicken once I get there. Or they can say it into a speaker, and whatever they say into the speaker comes out in my voice, or a target's voice. Okay? Now what they can do then is transmit any dialogue that they create, directional dialogue, I am going to go to Walmart, into this voice morphing, voice modulating technology, and then use the microwave hearing effect to transmit it into the target's own audio cortex in their voice as a result, and it's done below the perceptual radar. So the target has no idea that a third party from a distance is doing this to them. As a result, they believe that they're having just an internal thought to go to Walmart. Now, while this is occurring, they can also stimulate the physiological response, which is called the get up and go response. Go to Google right now and type in psychotronics human biology, and you'll eventually run across a diagram showing all the different areas of the body that have physiological signals responsible to EMG, the endocrine system, hormone fluctuation, and the get up and go response, which is actually a innate response that everybody's got. Like say if you're sleeping and you get up to go to the bathroom and all of a sudden you hear your back door opening, you get up from that toilet automatically and instinctively. That's not a conscious thought to do that, no matter how much you think it is. Okay? You might think to yourself, well, they got off the toilet because they heard it and they said to themselves, I got to get up and go. No. The thought is different from the stimulated physiological signal. They're two separate things. They can hack in only to the physiological signal and stimulate the body to get up and go, while they're transmitting the microwave hearing effect, I'm going to go to Walmart. Do you understand? Stimulating the get up and go response while they're transmitting psychological direction, I am going to go. Stimulating the get up and go, I am going to go at the same time. Target believes they're having their own thought and then their own motor cortex associated response to that thought. Get up and go. Now, all of this can be done in order to control a target's movements pertaining to where they want to take the target to commit heinous crimes against the target. Okay? They can run a target down mentally to the point to where they're ready to collapse and then place a person along their routes to give them suggestions about what to do while this technology is being used on them, so the target will mentally cooperate with them and then get up and go with them. Now, if they can do this to a woman, which they did to John Hall's fiance, they put an internal artificial thought in her mind to get her to go drink, drugged her, drinked, and raped her. Flat out. They can also engage in the forced speech, okay, where they can literally give dialogue into the target, where the transmit dialogue into the target believe that they're having their own thought, and then force the target to verbalize that speech, that thought. Man. So why am I saying all this? Well, let's take a look at if they're setting you up to target up to exploit them. How might they want to do it? Well, they need to have two opposing neural pathways. One for cooperation, passivity. Aw, the doggy's cute. The brain state of being cooperative, of being nice. And other neural pathways that are being entrained are aggressive, passive-aggressive, passive-aggressive. Whenever they want the target individual to be aggressive, they'll do that by entraining neural pathway responses, by harassing a target, assaulting a target, okay, even causing the target to physically defend themselves. These are aggressive neural pathways that hold encoded thoughts, and they can also transmit a thought as the situation's going on, where they can literally stimulate a target to be aggressive. Remember how I talked about the road rage brain state? So in the right circumstances that they set up and bring about, like an incident that they stage towards a target, where they've been harassed for 90 days in a row, non-stop, brutally assaulted 4 times in between, threatened to even be raped, while they're homeless and dealing with that, all of it is intentionally made known to the target that all this is happening to them because of gang stalking, using sensitization methods, where they will intentionally let the target know they're being gang stalked. Now, while all this is going on, they then set the target up, okay, in a hostile, in an event that's hostile, to make the target individual believe they're going to be assaulted again. As this is transpiring, they will stimulate the brain state of rage to cause the target individual to act out so they can be arrested. And when they stage these events, they will also stage the witnesses. Now, by the time the police come, they will stimulate the brain state of cooperation, passivity, and being joyful. That way the cop will act like, okay, he's just here to find out what's going on. What's going on? What's going on, Leslie? If this is happening to me. What's going on, Jim? If this is happening to Jim. Jim will already have a different brain state and passivity, okay, and fear that the cop's going to do something to them, while the staged witnesses are there blaming the target. That way, the police officer's video camera on their chest and the tape recorders they use to tape the whole thing is reflecting that a witness is saying that Jim or Leslie was violent, and then to make it appear that the police officer has no other recourse except for to arrest the target or petition the target into county mental health. And this is done for exploitation. For insurance fraud, this is done to accumulate police reports over time as a result of additional staged events, so they can then make the target a ward of the state, put them in a group home where the gang stalking will continue, where the insurance fraud will continue, where human trafficking will occur, and where all of it will be blamed on the target. Now, are the people that they're getting to harass the target doing the same thing? Are they being told how to act towards the target? If I go into, let's say, Vons or Ralph's, and my behavior is jubilee, I'm joyful, even though they're gang stalking me creatively with sensitization methods, I act nice to them. They're told intentionally to act nice to me. Are they being remotely neurally monitored, like Julian McKinney stated, that the ones that they're getting to harass a target are also being currently neurally choreographed? If they're told to be nice to me, that means they're being joyful. That means they're being jubilant. That means they're being nice. That means they're being passive. Then on other dates, they're told to be aggressive. Will they be targets in 2 or 3 years once they've been fully brain scanned and they're ready to start the campaign against them? Absolutely. Okay? They're doing this to the elderly, to single women, single fathers, people on disability, anybody and everybody they can in order to make money off them, by neurally influencing their behaviors. Okay? So, even when they bring a person to assault a target, they can be stimulating that person to be rageable. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Leslie Williams. Every single thing that I described in this YouTube video is the absolute factual truth. And all you got to do is take the information, all of the information that I gave you in this video, write it down, research it, cross-reference, and synthesize. And you will see that I'm telling you the truth. It's all over the internet that this technology can influence brain states, that it's being used for psychological, neuropsychological direction. It's all over the internet that it's being used for, that it's being used to transmit artificial thoughts for psychological direction. In order to take the target from A to B to C to D, in order to get the target's cooperation by using stimulating passivity and jubilant brain states, yeah, it's all okay. It's all okay, Leslie. You'll be alright. Just follow our directions pertaining to where we want to take you to, like a homeless shelter. Yeah, baby. That way they can drug your food, wait till you're knocked out, come in and bring multiple men in to have sex with you while you're knocked out, videotape the whole thing, and then sell it to pornography groups. They'll enter your home and do the same thing. Go to YouTube and type in "stalked, drugged, and raped. Is it happening here in San Antonio?" They'll literally enter your motel room and do the same thing to you. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. I made this video to inform the public concerning the truth, so they can educate themselves to make informed decisions to protect their loved ones. In closing, if they brain scan an 8 or a 9-year-old girl or boy who they have targeted for pornography groups, what kind of psychological direction can they put in that 8 or 9-year-old boy's mind? Yeah, baby. Like when they go to the store to get some candy, or maybe go for a bike ride. A white van pulls up. "Hey kid, what are you doing?" "I'm not doing nothing. Would you like some candy?" Normally you would say no. But if he's given psychological direction to say yes, he'll approach that van, they'll grab him, take a minute, and then he's gone. Do you understand what I'm telling you? My name is Leslie Williams. I am literally putting my life in danger. Literally. And I've already been brutally assaulted for exposing these criminalities. But I do what I do because I do not want any person to suffer the heinous bullshit that I have suffered. Now, they're also targeting police officers. They can be set up to be murdered on the job while it's made to appear that a criminal just did it. They'll even falsify his arrest or let him go and claim that he was never caught. A good police officer that they're trying to weed out of the police department. They can do this to anybody. Go to Google and YouTube right now and type in the Hemet Police Gang Squad Gang Stalked in Hemet, California. Especially make sure you can go to YouTube and type in GS Watchdog YouTube channel, Hemet Police Gang Squad Gang Stalk. When you watch that video, look at everything that's in the description of that YouTube video. You'll see an Examiner.com report concerning that situation. Research it thoroughly. The stalked, drugged, and raped YouTube video of 2 women having their food drugged and then perpetrators coming in their house to rape them, John Hall is literally in that news broadcast. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Leslie Williams. In closing, the testimony, some of the testimony that each one of them 2 women gave in the stalked, drugged, and raped, is it happening here in San Antonio? I had already described what's happening to me in email files dating back to 2006. And they know I got them. That news broadcast didn't take place until February 17, 2010. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, please research what I'm saying, because these expeditions, they are going on in every single town, city, and state in the United States, and these criminalities are also happening in other countries as well. And remote neural monitoring is definitely being used for brain entrainment for human trafficking, where they can literally neurally make a person decide to give up sex for anything, food, money, whatever. Yeah. In closing, Governor Brown, I think that's his skanky name, he just passed a bill here 2 days ago that a woman, as long as she says yes to sex, she can never claim that she was raped. Forced speech and nearly influencing her to say yes. You do the math, take what I state, cross-reference it, research it, and come to understand. I'm an activist. I'm a victim of these crimes. I'm a target of these crimes. The only thing I can do, ladies and gentlemen, is hope and pray that you research what I state. Thank you for listening, and have a nice day.